Okay, what would I like to share with my children? What a nice question. Well, first of all, I love you. I'm very happy that all three of you are in my life. Thank you. And my biggest message, well, over the last couple of years I learned that inspiring is much more powerful than talking. So I try to talk less and show more. But if there's something I think which I would like to share with my children is that we all have, so you all have more power over your life than that every one of us, of you, is aware of. In Holland we have these sayings that you can't manage what happens to you in life, but you can manage how you respond to it. And I think that's true, but the truth is even bigger. Yes, you can learn to manage your response to situations, but by doing so and by changing your responses, you're also on the long term managing what life brings you on your path. So in my mind, we have a lot of power. For instance, well, the first step is become aware of the fact that we have a kind of automatic mechanisms, instant behavior. Something does something to you or says something to you and you haven't even thought about it, you have already said something or you reacted or looked with very angry eyes or like, wow, so it's instantly it's there. And if you become aware of that you have these programmed reactions, you can, if something happens, you can learn to take a long breath, count till 10, and learn to look at your own thoughts. Something, well, they don't teach us at school, but you can become aware of your own thoughts. Then you say, oh, I'm having thoughts I'm looking, so who's looking? It's not me being the thoughts, but I have thoughts. So that takes some time, it's another concept. But if you learn to take a break or a pause when there's something happening to you or somebody says something to you and you don't respond automatically, but you learn to look at your own thoughts and don't speak instantaneously, and then you can become aware of the fact that your thoughts are always in a certain manner. But if you learn to manage it a little bit, then you become aware of the fact that you have a choice how to respond. And if you don't do this trick, then something happens and you always respond in the same. That's why we always have the same fights or encounters with many people. Oh, he does this and then she does that, because we always do the same. So the trick is take a break. Something happens, somebody says something to you, don't respond instantly. Look at your own thoughts, become aware of them, and be aware of the fact that you have a choice. So I think that's very important, to learn to manage your response to situations. Look, in the end it's very simple. Everybody wants to receive. But the trick is, if you want to receive, you need to share it first. And you can't share what you don't already have. So if you're looking for love or for somebody who listens to you, then you need to listen to the other person first or as well. And you can't share your attention to listen if you don't listen to yourself first. So it all starts with you. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to love yourself. You learn to be intimate with yourself. And from that abundance of love or trust or self-worth, intimacy, you share your attention or your trust. or your intimacy. And then you get a lot more back. So the trick is be the source of everything you want to receive in life. And it starts all with you. And that makes you a very powerful person. So the trick is learn to become aware of your thoughts. Learn to manage your feelings a little bit. They are there. Don't ignore them, but learn to look at them. And then you manage your response. And when you respond differently, the other person will respond differently as well. So, and if you already have learned to fulfill a lot of your own needs, like love yourself, respect yourself, and you give respect or love to the other person, and he or she doesn't reply, it's not a big problem because you're already good, and you understand. Oh, he or she is not having a good moment. Oh, well, that's not very nice, sweetheart. But do you want some coffee? Instead of but you, no, you manage your reaction, of course. And of course, if you're dealing with people and there's no balance, you're giving and sharing and sharing and sharing, and it doesn't come back. Well, maybe it's a good moment to evaluate that relationship. Like we say here in Holland, if you're pulling a dead cow, maybe let go of the rope. But that's up to you. I've been learn from your dad. I've been looking for many things outside of myself, and I received a lot, so I'm very grateful with many people. But in the end, I've learned to be the biggest supplier of my own needs, and that has made me very independent, made me very happy, and all my relationships have changed. Because I don't hold another responsible for my well-being or my happiness or whatever. So if they react not nice, or even if they don't react, they don't listen, I don't get frustrated. Because, well, I only give a lot of attention and a lot of love and trust to myself. And I've learned that makes me a very powerful but also genuine person. So by learning that and applying it, you have a lot of control over your own life and also about how your relationships. And in the end, that has a big impact on whatever comes onto your path. So, I think that's a big part of it. And the other part of it is has to do with fears. I've been afraid of a few things all my life. I was afraid to be alone. So I stayed in a relationship because I said, well, this is not great, but maybe I better stay because otherwise I'm alone and I don't want to be alone. I was afraid in the dark, like a grown-up man, 50 years old, afraid in the dark. I was afraid to take initiative with women. Always afraid that I would show my interest or my affection, and then the other person would say, no, I'm not interested. So, and I was afraid to receive that rejection. So I never shared it. Well, that changed the last couple of years, but before I never shared it because I was afraid to be rejected. I was afraid of heights, so elevators and tall buildings. Afraid to fall. But well, if you study your fears, you can become aware of it, that the biggest part of the fear is the fear of the fear. Many fears are not rational. And when you find the strength or the wisdom or the help to get through your fears, that's very liberating. Just be you. If you're, for instance, if you're afraid of what other people might think of you and might say of you and say, no, I'm doing nothing because blah, blah. No, just be you. If you're living your life, what other people expect of you or think of you or say of you, you don't have a life. Live your life. You are you. You're beautiful. Don't worry. Be the authentic you. So, message for my children. I don't have dreams for you. I hope you're happy. You're healthy. And that you're confident. And in my mind, the biggest gift I can give to you, my children, is to be happy, to be healthy, to be strong, to respect myself, to respect other people, to be kind to other people, be kind to myself. So that's my trick. I try to inspire the shit out of you. Well, I can talk for a month, but I think this is enough as big message. Love you all.